The Seven Kingdoms needs a ruler loved by millions with a powerful army and the right family name.
Good luck finding him.
Who said anything about him?
I'm not going to stop the wheel. I'm going to break the wheel.
The BAMZ Insurance fiasco intensifies. The Defense Force Commodore joins Baha but hasn't officially left the force. The Prime Minister addresses the broken healthcare system, plus the brother of a murdered father of four speaks out on crime. We've got those stories and a whole lot more tonight. I'm Juanit Toot and NV12 starts now. Topping news tonight, Montague Member of Parliament Richard Lightbourne has demanded answers from government on whether the multi-million-dollar BAMZ project is insured. This after officials failed to provide evidence that the fire-damaged BAMZ dorm ever had insurance coverage. The FNM MP also hit out at Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis, insisting that as the Minister of Works, he has been too quiet on the matter. Jasmine Brown reports.
While addressing the House of Assembly today, Lightbourne accused the government of dragging its feet when it came to BAMZ. He also called on the government to be more forthcoming when it comes to the project's insurance. Lightbourne specifically called on Deputy Prime Minister Philip Davis to state categorically whether the male dorm that was destroyed by fire was insured. In an article printed in the Nassau Guardian, it was revealed that there is no evidence that the BAMZ building was ever insured. Davis previously said in the House of Assembly that at the signing of the BAMZ contract, the contractor had everything that was required to contract work with the Works Ministry, including contractors' all-risk insurance. But he also confirmed that the insurance had lapsed on the male dormitory that was burned down last month as a result of the contractor not paying the premium. As a result, the policy lapsed. But Lightbourne said Davis had not been transparent and challenged him to prove the company had the requisite insurance at the time of the contract signing.
So when we have members opposite some 6 weeks or more after the incident, still fluffing around and trying to find out whether the property was actually insured, whether it was ever insured. Building is burnt down and they don't seem to have the slightest concern for the loss that we have suffered.
According to information on the file of the Ministry of Works, there was an insurance quote from a local insurance company, but there was never an insurance certificate. Our news team understands the contractor was issued checks based on that quote, but the ministry has no evidence that the insurance was ever paid. Previously, the contractor Audley Hanna told the Nassau Guardian the building was insured by Southern Alliance, but that company is not listed in the phone book. It is also not listed on the website of the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas. Furthermore, the insurance company that wrote a quote for the building is not called Southern Alliance. Lightbourne said this matter should have been dealt with a long time ago.
Why would it be such a problem for this government to discover what the factual position is with regard to insurance? Come clean. Tell us what the position is. We believe we know it by virtue of their silence.
Lightbourne's heated remarks prompted the Deputy Prime Minister to stand on a point of order, which prompted this exchange between the two men.
I don't march, I get drunk.
Mr. Speaker, the member for Cat Island may not march to our drum, but he will shortly be marching to the drum of the people of this country. Me too. You will shortly be. Don't worry about that.
Outside the House of Assembly today, Davis told our news team that he would be addressing the insurance matter in the House of Assembly this week. Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Though there has been no public announcement from the government, Commander of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Commodore Baha has confirmed he is on leave and is now employed by Baha. National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage says while Baha is now officially on Baha's payroll, he has not officially left the Defense Force.
Mr. Baha's contract has come to an end, and he has indicated that he does not intend to renew it. He's asked me to accept that.
After more than 32 years on the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Baha stepped down in silence late last month to accept a top post at the $3.5 billion Baha resort. National Security Minister Dr. Bernard Nottage says Baha's contract expired in January of this year, but he made it clear in May 2012 that he did not want his contract to be renewed. While Baha has already taken up his new post at Baha, Nottage says he hasn't officially left the Defense Force.
His placement with the Defense Force was extended beyond the contract, and he has indicated that he intends to seek employment elsewhere.
How long is his last day on the job?
Well, he hasn't had a last day on the job yet, but it's intended to be soon.
So he's on leave currently?
He's on leave, yes.
We asked the National Security Minister if Baha is still on government's payroll.
What kind of question is that? I've told you what the situation is.
We also asked Nottage why the government did not make an official announcement after the Defense Force chief went on leave and sought new employment.
There's no need for there to be an official announcement. We are seeking the appointment of a new Commodore, and when that takes place, then we will make an announcement.
Nottage could not say when Baha's replacement would be announced, but noted that Deputy Commodore Tellis Bethel would act in his position until then. Baha told us it was always his intention to retire after serving as Commodore for 5 years, adding his decision had nothing to do with job dissatisfaction. Nottage says Baha achieved 2 important goals during his tenure as Commodore.
The one is the recruitment of additional Marines, which is necessary for the expansion of the fleet and the extended job that we anticipate that the Defense Force will be asked to do in connection with law enforcement. You know, they'll be getting 9 new boats. We've got 3 of them already. Another one will be here at the end of the month. And he's done a good job in setting the stage for all of that.
The Defense Force commander's decision to join Baha comes just over a month after Deputy Commissioner of Police Quinn McCartney left the Royal Bahamas Police Force to accept a job at the multi-billion-dollar resort. Nottage says he views it as a positive move.
It is not a bad thing, because what we do need, especially in our resorts, are law enforcement officers who have experience and understand how the situation works in our country. So I think that it is of great assistance to the Royal Bahamas Police Force and the Defense Force to have persons like those engaged in providing some of the services in our resort.
Prime Minister Perry Christie is once again defending the decision to implement national health insurance amid claims government is eyeing NHI while failing to account for alleged abuses at the Public Hospitals Authority. Christie blasted critics, insisting government is not stupid and will do its best for Bahamians. Simone Davis has that story.
Prime Minister Perry Christie slammed an article in the Nassau Guardian's National Review, which questioned how the controversial national health insurance scheme would work when government has failed to account for critical weaknesses and alleged abuses in the Public Hospitals Authority that were exposed in an auditor's report. The government has been criticized for failing to take serious action that would show it is serious about instituting urgent reforms at PHA, which would better prepare the public healthcare system for NHI. Christie said the government controls the pace that NHI is introduced, and there is no doubt that it is time for it to be implemented.
I wanted to make to the country why it is you mustn't rush to judgment. The government of the Bahamas controls the lever of the pace at which national health insurance is introduced. There is absolutely no doubt it is fundamental The reports have shown that over 700 unnecessary deaths. I don't know how you rationalize that. On people dying unnecessarily, the enormity of that frightens the hell out of me. And therefore, I know that those people who died unnecessary death invariably are poor people, right, who weren't getting the attention and the service that they needed.
The Prime Minister said the Christie administration knows exactly what it's doing and it's not confused about anything. He also said the government is not incapable of implementing a successful national health insurance.
I kept on asking if people think we're stupid, right? We're going to do the right thing for the Bahamas and the right thing for the people of this country. And it's going to be effectively and efficiently done. And it's going to be done with plenty of notice to them. And it will be argued to show that it was the right thing to do and at the right pace we're doing it. And so the minister has plenty options before him. And he will avail himself of those options. And when we come to Parliament with our report and to the country with our report, people will see that we've made the right decision and we are going to govern very, very wisely.
Costa Rican consultant Sangent International suggested payroll tax between 1 and 5% as a means of funding NHI. The Prime Minister was asked if he considered the fact that VAT was implemented just 2 months ago and Bahamians have not been given enough time to adjust to an NHI tax. This was his response.
It's never too early to present it. The people who are saying that, let me go back one step and say this. We were elected on the basis that we were going to do it. People voted for us on the basis we were going to do it. Now, people would want to do it wisely, do it so as not to cause a problem with the economy. Now, let me say this. Who do you think it is who's bringing this resurgence in economic activity? Every day, tomorrow, we take a few more developments to cabinet. It is us. We now have I think the economy, I've said we've made the turn. I know we've made the turn. I'm not going to push it up like that and then bring it down. It doesn't make sense.
Christie also said the government has nothing to be concerned about when it comes to the truth and the facts of brand matters, adding that he's determined to ensure that the Christie administration introduces the health care coverage without driving the economy into any form of recession. In reference to the PHA, Christie said just because the government is not talking about it, that doesn't mean officials aren't working on it.
The Public Hospital Authority is work in progress. They have this huge machine they're trying to bring a new culture into. A lot of purchases done, and we have to concern ourselves by ensuring that their constant audits are done, people are accountable for what they're doing, that the whole process is transparent. Those are matters that governments want to have in place. And so for me, I'm just hoping that the Minister of Health and the Public Hospital Authority would continue with their work in a way that people would be able to share in what they're doing and not be concerned about they're not getting enough information.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
Attorney and talk show host Fane Thompson is demanding that the, quote, animal who murdered his brother Friday night be brought to justice, asserting his brother's death will not be in vain. Police say 58-year-old Theophilus Thompson and a woman were sitting in his car on Podolio Street around 11 p.m. Friday when 4 or 5 men opened fire and shot the architect several times. He attempted to drive to the hospital but crashed on Montrose Avenue. He was transported to hospital but died around 1 a.m. Saturday.
An animal murdered my brother, but he was created by the logic of a war that should never have been started. That we should not continue fighting, and we should try to find a way to end. I know that my brother is a victim in more than just one way. He's a victim of the logic of a criminal justice policy which just does not work. And he was bred in a society that doesn't really particularly care for him. Whoever this animal was, he must be punished. He must be punished to the full extent of the law. But at the same time, the conversation should continue. My brother's death, my brother's life should not be in vain.
A man and woman were also shot during that incident and are said to be in stable condition. Thompson, who wiped away tears, says his brother was picking up his girlfriend when he was shot. He described the father of 4 as a family man and career civil servant who happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
My information tells me that a group of young men walked up to a house to settle a score, looking for someone in particular. My brother happened to be in the line of fire. If you go to the house, you'll see pock marks of bullet holes in the front of the house. It wasn't gunfire directed at a car. It was a car that was in the way of the gunfire. My brother happened to be in the vehicle. He was not the only person shot. 2 other people were shot. So it was not an assassination attempt, or they wanted to kill him. He just happened to be, by some unfortunate twist of fate, in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he died.
Head of the Central Detective Unit, Chief Superintendent Paul Rohl, said police are following leads in this matter. Thompson's killing pushed the murder count to 28 for 2015. This time last year, the country's murder count was 21.
No one is safe. Class, creed, color, sex, whatever, nobody is safe. This is something which infects our country, and we have to find a way to get a handle on it. And politicians have to stop talking nonsense and foolishness about putting more people on the street and putting more guns on the street in the hands of police officers. It's not doing anything. The murder rate continues, the violence continues, because young men are feuding over what? The spoils, the droppings that society would give them in this senseless drug trade, brought upon by a drug war which should never have been started, to turning our little country into a madhouse. That's exactly.
When NB12 returns, PLP MPs demand Richard Lightbourne apologize for comments he made in the House of Assembly. We'll tell you all about it after this break.